Green light.
Good evening, everybody. And hopefully, you can see my face. Hello, welcome along to the TraxionGG YouTube channel for the live premiere event of the brand new DLC that will be coming to Assetto Corsa Competizione tomorrow. I've got my hands on it today, so this is a very, very exciting day. I've just had a bit of stress because I couldn't for the life of me work out why I wasn't seeing any servers, how I wasn't able to jump in with everyone else. So I've been running around trying to work it out. Turns out I had Steam in offline mode, so that is now solved. Stress over. Sorry for the slight delay in the start of the stream. And we are here. And I tell you what I'm going to do. Hello everyone. Good to have you along. To show you what's happening. So we're going to have a bunch of content creators and famous YouTubers and all sorts of people coming in and testing out this brand new DLC pack today. We have 4 new cars, or well, 3 new cars and 1 updated car. And we have a brand new track as well in Valencia, which is Circuito Ricardo Tormo, I believe. Hello everyone, hello Eclipse, hello Hey Kate Babes, I think, and hello Leroy, how's it going? Good to have you on board. But yeah, basically guys, the start of the stream, I'm going to be trying to show you the different new cars. I'm going to drive all 3 of them and show you what they're like, and I'll also have a quick shot in the updated Mercedes as well. And then at 7 o'clock, we'll be jumping into some qualifying and some racing action, so there's lots of exciting stuff coming up very soon. You might be able to see, though, hey Xander, how's it going? That we are starting things off in a Ferrari. And it's not the 488, it's the brand new Ferrari 296. And I'm about to take it out on circuit, which is cool. I've not gone the Fezza, Lewis. I've not gone for it. I'm actually going to be racing the Porsche tonight because that's a car I love to drive and it's absolutely wicked. We'll get to that last, but that's why I'm starting in the Ferrari because I know you guys will be really excited to see the car that's the most different of the new cars, if that makes any sense. So we're just going to jump out there we'll throw on the aggressive preset. I've not looked at anything else with this one. And let's get on track. 24 degrees track, 31 degrees track, 24 degrees ambient, that's alright. Going to pop my gloves on. Now, the other thing is, and I'm going to switch the camera, Brandon from Grid Engineering, if you're watching, hello. We also have an exciting new steering wheel to show you guys today. We've got the Grid MPX steering wheel. There is going to be a review coming, hello, on the TraxionGG YouTube channel. Hopefully the end of this week, that is the plan. And we also have our beautiful Porsche 10-inch DDU display as well. So I'm going to be trying to show you guys a little bit of that as well as we go, but obviously the main focus of the stream is on Assetto Corsa. So I'm going to be showing mainly just the gameplay and this face camera so you can see what's happening. There's a slight delay with the shoulder cam, which is why we couldn't, unfortunately, have it on during the live gameplay. But I think I should stop chatting, get it on circuit, looks like the track's optimum, and do some laps in this Ferrari and talk a little bit about this ACC update. Got some recognizable names as well in the server. You've got Dan Suzuki so far, you've got Rory Alexander there as well. I've used Gregor Schill and Niles. I'm used to racing against and with those guys in the past. So, yeah, let us know in the comments if you're here. Ross is watching. Hello, Ross. Ross has made a setup for the Porsche, which I will get to in a bit, and we'll be giving you guys soon. Brandon's here. Hey, Brandon. Very excited to show off this wheel and this DDU in our review soon. Raphael's asked, what are the 4 new cars? Right, so we will get to the other ones. This is the first one, and it is the Ferrari 296. So this is not a Ferrari 488 Evo or Evo 2 or Evo Pro or whatever they've decided to call it. This is, as I get my, make sure I've got it. Oh, it's automatic, great. This is the brand new Ferrari, there you can see it. Looks very different to the 488, and I actually think it looks much nicer. I'm not a big fan of the 488 visually, but I am a big fan of this car. And of course this is the new Circuito Ricardo Tormo, or Valencia. A track that many of you won't be familiar with unless you're big fans of the likes of MotoGP, because it's a big bike circuit. Obviously it's used in the GT World Challenge, so people who are interested in their GT racing and ACC might well know the circuit from that. Also GTR2 back in the day, this was a big circuit. Race 07 is how I got to know this circuit. That's a slidey start. Yeah, well, Ross made the setup whilst also, you know, getting everything ready for the big launch tomorrow. So he's had a lot on his plate, and he's decided to chuck us a little bit of a setup for the Porsche. So the nice thing is though with this new update, and I will get into all of these details, guys, as we roll through the stream because we've got a long chance to chat ahead of us. But one of the big things with this update is actually that the default setups should be a bit closer to your outright pace. There's less of a gulf, and there's less kind of setup hacks that you can do to make yourself quicker, involving dampers and bump stops and all these kind of things. But yeah, we'll get onto the details. I'm going to read you the 4 cars because Raphael asked for that ages ago and I am blabbering on. So we've got the Ferrari 296, which I'm driving right now. We also have a new Porsche as well, so it's the 992 GT3 R, so the 3rd Porsche 911 that we've had on ACC in the GT3 class, and this one is the 2023 version. We've finally got a 992 GT3 car, which is very, very cool. Not going to be P1, absolutely not. I'll try and do my best. So yeah, the Porsche, and then you've got also the Lamborghini Huracan Evo2, which is new as well. And that's 3 new cars, and then you've got updates to the Mercedes as well. So the latest Mercedes-AMG Evo has had some updates from Mercedes, and it basically improves the car in pretty much every single way, a bit like the Porsche as well, where it's just going to be a bit better, but obviously BOP is still a thing, right? So even though a car might be infinitely better in every single department, or a little bit better in every single department I should say, it doesn't mean it's going to be much quicker out of the box because balance of performance kicks in. But the faster your car is as a baseline, the more you've got to work with, right? P1 or P45. Excellent stuff. Let me know as well, guys, if the audio levels are okay. We haven't done a stream in a long time here on the Traxion channel on YouTube. It's been a while since I've actually seen all you guys and been able to speak to you via camera, which is nice, but we'll have plenty of content coming up soon. But yeah, if audio levels and stuff all sound okay, let us know. This track, guys, is phenomenal. Honestly, I woke up yesterday morning knowing I'd be able to give this my first try, and I know the circuit. I've known the circuit for years, and I've always just thought, it's all right. It's it's just another European twisty circuit with all the runoff areas, a bit like Misano or Catalunya and all these places. It's honestly better. It's so much better. The flow of this place is incredible. Turn 1, we'll try and send it into T1 here. On the brakes, it's a high-speed corner. You can get all the way up in the curve on the power so early and run all the way out. This is legal as well. You can run all the way over onto that curb. Very, very quick corner. In for a left-hand hairpin with a bit of camber, which actually pulls you in beautifully. You can then attack the left-hand kink here, get back over to the curb, down to 2nd, and once again, you can see the camber in these corners. They're all very satisfying. The curbs are just gorgeous, as they always are on ACC circuits. And you can use all of the road. This corner is probably the first annoying corner, I would say. Get a little bit of a breather as we head down the back stretch. And then we've got the infield section where all the carnage is going to happen. This is another beautiful corner. It kind of flows down, and it is a bit awkward. It's downhill, it's tightening, it's long, but the curvature is just beautiful. And the car just sticks really, really nicely through there. This is probably the trickiest braking zone, because it's kind of 2 corners in one. You can get on the power really early and run out to this outside curb. You can stay out wide for the trickiest, most unpredictable corner on the circuit. Just watch those bumps in the exit. They're extreme, to say the least. And we come around the last corner. You let it run out wide, all the way out to this curb here, down to 2nd gear, and I've completely missed the apex. But that corner there has, again, it's kind of banked. It sucks you in, and as long as you get the turn in right and you get the speed right, it is such a satisfying corner because it just carries the car down the hill. You can power out of it. It's a little bit like the last corner at Misano, but in the other way. It's just, honestly, a stunning circuit, and you probably wouldn't think it just by looking at it. It's very hard to explain. It's a proper driver circuit, this. Try and do a slightly quicker lap. Well, we've got 60 litres of fuel, so this is just the what you get given with the aggressive default. But we'll have a go. And this Ferrari, guys, the thing I can say about this Ferrari is that it's not like a Ferrari, and to me, it doesn't have the same characteristics that the 488 did. It's a lot more stable. It feels a bit more forgiving. It sounds different. I almost think it feels more like a BMW M4. Like, hard to explain, but it's just a bit less crazy and a bit less snappy than the Ferrari. And it is really, really nice. I enjoy driving it. I've only done a few laps in it, to be fair. This is probably my, 6th, 7th lap in this car. Hey Justin, hey Leroy, how's it going? I will try and read your comments, especially at this early stages of this broadcast. Obviously later on, we're going to be racing, so it's going to be difficult to look up at the screen, but I will try and answer as many questions as possible. Anyway, there's a few laps in the Ferrari. I'm gonna actually jump in another new car now, so we'll pull over.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
I don't need my keyboard, do I? Right, so what I'm gonna do is just hide the screen for a second. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're in it for the long haul. And as I say, I'm gonna try and give you as much info as I can. I wouldn't worry, Alex, to be honest. Everyone might just be trying the different cars. They might just be showing you the Lambo early. I'm going to show you the Lambo next, actually. So this is the Evo 2. There's a lot more aerodynamic stuff at play here. And this car, I've not driven it yet. I've not done a single lap, but I've heard it sticks really nicely to the road. A lot of drag, so maybe not the best in a straight line, but I'm very intrigued to try it. You're going to get my live first reaction on this one. Sorry, I was just showing you the car, and I realized that you only see my face, so that's not much good. Let's change that, shall we? There's the Lambo. I'm going to be careful, guys. I don't want to show too much here, because obviously we've just got this live stream event tonight, and you'll get all of the extra stuff tomorrow. But we'll jump back in. Yeah, so how's the 296 versus 488? As I was saying, this car feels more mature than the 296 feels more mature than the 488. It feels less on edge, less scrappy. It feels easier to drive. It's a little bit more docile. It still feels stiff, and when you get in the power out of the corners, you still have that rigidness that you get with the Ferrari, and you can kind of still get a bit of oversteer. It still turns well, but it's just an all-round more. It's a safer, more mature drive, if that makes any sense at all. I can't really put feelings into words in that way, but that's kind of, I guess, how I would summarize it. And it, I like it more. I think it sounds better, it looks better, all of the above. Let's get back on. Oh, hey Richard, how's it going? Right, let's get the aggressive default. We're doing some short races tonight, so we'll put in a bit less fuel. We'll give this Lambo a go, shall we? There is no setup, boys. You'll see Ross's setup later, and I'm going to be doing a track guide of this circuit, which has already been filmed, and we're going to give you the setup, not even the setup for the track guide, but an even better setup that Ross worked on after I'd done the track guide filming. So yeah, you guys got that to look forward to. Let's just give myself a higher driving position because I've got the DDU. And yeah, once again, if you've just joined us, this is the setup I'm using today. So I've got the DD Pro, Fanatec DD Pro base with the boost kit, so 8 Nm of torque. So hopefully that answers your question. I know someone asked about the wheelbase. Then you've got the Porsche 10-inch DDU, which is also grid engineering. That thing is absolutely incredible. I love it to bits. And that's going to be a separate review coming on the Traxion channel later. And then I also have a Fanatec shifter, which you can't see and I'm not using anyway. And I've got CSL Elite V2 pedals. Right, let's try the Lamborghini. Oh, nice one, Richard. Well, welcome along. I don't do much live streaming, to be honest, so hopefully you enjoy. We're going to have a little bit of free practice before we get to the racing, but I'm just using this chance to show off all these fantastic new cars. Let's see what the Lambo does then. So as I say, I've not done a single lap of this car, so this is going to give you my thoughts instantly of how it feels. Okay, that didn't stop in the same way that the Porsche, the Ferrari would there. But of course, all of these cars have different characteristics, so you've really got to learn a different technique for each of them. Get in over the curb. Sounds the same. I have to say, like, when I tried the new Porsche back to back with the old Porsche, they are very different to drive. The new Porsche is easier. It still has the same characteristics, but it just feels better all round in terms of handling. But the sounds are also better. Like the new Porsche sound, you can hear the difference in the new car. We're going to let this chap go. I'm not a Fanatec fanboy, actually. I don't really have any I don't think I have any fanboyism of any particular hardware, but we like having the Fanatec base on our rigs because they are compatible with everything. So you can play a PlayStation game, you can play Xbox, PC. So when we're filming our videos, we can jump easily between different consoles and stuff, and it works really well. And to be honest, the pedals have been really, really good. The bass has been really good. We've had no issues. So yeah, that's why they're on there. All right, let's see, into turn 1. The Lambo's very stable. It actually feels quite heavy compared to the Ferrari and the Porsche, which we'll get to later. I can get on the power nice and early though. As I say, it seems to react fairly nicely. I know this car's not meant to be great in a straight, but it's meant to have good downforce and grip. And yeah, I can definitely feel the grip element. Not quite getting as sharp a turn in initially as I would get in the other two. The Ferrari feels a little bit more responsive on first drive. But yeah, I'm nowhere near the limits of these things yet. So, you know, the top guys on ACC that are doing esports week in, week out, they will be able to tell you all of the finite differences. Such a tricky corner. Yeah, this car is one that if you've just picked up ACC or you're new to sim racing, I can see you jumping in this. It feels alright. Different gearing to the Porsche and the Ferrari, I'd say. Track limits are funny around here as well. They may be changed, of course, before the update goes live tomorrow, but things feel fairly lenient in certain places, let's put it that way. Got to be careful of that pit lane exit, because on a hot lap it does allow you to run out pretty wide.
Yellow flag, be careful there.
Big changes as well to the way the dampers and suspension and tyres work as well. Kunos have gone all out to try and prevent people, you know, using trick setups to find ultimate lap time. I've made that invalid. So basically beforehand, the bump stops didn't really have a limit to the amount of compression. So what people would do to make the car faster is basically soften all the springs and everything so that the car was constantly running on the bump stops, I should say. And because they had no limit to their compression, it kind of meant that the car would run lower for longer, and therefore increase your straight line speed, increase your performance, all that kind of stuff. And it kind of shouldn't work like that, because of course in real life there is a limit. So that's what the ACC have done. They've added essentially a limit in reality to the bump stops. And what it means is realistic setup changes and stuff should actually have realistic effects on the way the car handles. Anyway, this lap's terrible, but we'll come into the last corner, get it wrong, and then we will we'll jump in the third different car, which is not brand new. It's an update to an existing car. It's the Mercedes. So let's do that just now. Got some iRacing fans in the house. Ah, interesting. I don't know if you'll enjoy this. I hope you will. I really enjoy ACC. It's very different to iRacing. It feels different. Both have their strengths and weaknesses, of course. But I hope you enjoy it. The racing should be great later on. It's just GT3s though, isn't it? I mean, GT3 racing is GT3 racing at the end of the day. The cars, there's a certain window that you know the cars are going to be in terms of performance and how they feel. They're GT3 cars at the end of the day. But when you play them a lot, which to be fair I haven't done in recent times, but generally when you play them a lot, you should be able to feel those differences and really appreciate the nuances and stuff like that. Okay, we have rejoined in the Mercedes. I'm going to jump on the default setup again and give you some laps of this. So again, this is a car I haven't driven since the update. Just going on default aggressive, adding some little bit of PSI because I know it was quite low on the last car. Hello everyone. Unfortunately, I don't know about when this is going to come to console. I honestly am not sure on that yet. I do know the DLC pack in general launches tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, sadly we don't know yet about consoles. Right, Mercedes, Mercedes, Mercedes. A car that I've always enjoyed driving. Don't think I've ever raced one online. Maybe I have once. Actually, I did actually. I say that. I did in the recent Traxion video.
Yellow flag ahead.
It's my first race on ACC in a long time, but this car, with the updates, should just be a little bit better in pretty much every department than the old Mercedes. But it's the same car, so it's not like a new car. It's not like an Evo 2 or, you know, anything like that. It is still the original Evo. But it just requires such a different style to the other cars. You can see straight away it's a lot quicker to rotate the back end. I'm going to actually get out of the way of this chap. A few small adjustments. Increase that a little bit so I can see clearly over this DDU. We haven't. If you had this at home, you would raise your TV, but we haven't got around to that yet. Yeah, that was the other one I was thinking of, Ross. I'm pretty sure I raced it at Suzuka. You're right. I can't remember how that race went, but that car was mega around Suzuka, wasn't it? It was like so much quicker than everything else. Bad in its tires though. You could rev this thing until it screamed as well. You just keep going way beyond the red line. So far in this outlap, this Merc is feeling a lot more layery than the other brand new cars. It feels like it's set up by default to be quite oversteery, which I quite like. It's a bit more R-Factor 2-like in the way it's driving. What's new in the Merc? It's nothing. So with the Merc, it's not like one, you know, big change. It's essentially Merc have brought their own updates to this year's racing in real life, and Kunos have added those in. So it's essentially like little changes to so many components. I don't know the details of what those components all are, but we've just been told so many parts are new. You wouldn't believe it, but it's still the same fundamental car. It's basically an Evo 2. Like, it should be called an Evo 2. But you can see there, if I'm understeering, I can just give it a bit of throttle and the back will come round. Honestly, it feels like the Mercedes. It sounds like the Mercedes. It looks like the Mercedes. It hasn't changed that much on my initial impression. Again, if you were doing an esports competition right now with the old car, jumping in this one, you would, I'm sure, notice those slightly more nuanced differences. I've not been doing too much ACC recently, but it still fundamentally feels like this car. So if you liked the Mercedes before, you're probably still going to like it. There you go. Get on the power, it just goes. Yes, Piers is a big fan of this track. Nice to see you on the stream. Got 36 minutes until qualifying for this one, and we will again, as I say, be driving the Porsche, which is a brand new car. I'll be jumping in that next. Alright, let's see if we can do a clean lap in the Mercedes. So once again, full commitment is T1. Use loads of curb. You can use pretty much all the green curb on the inside. You can run out very wide and it's still legal, which might surprise you. Braking at the white concrete strip. In you go, get over the curb, get on the power and let the Merc's rear end do the work for you. You don't need to rely on your steering too much. Didn't get far enough over there to the left. And again, big snap of oversteer. If I change the camera, you'll probably be able to see this a bit more. Let's go for, well, I'll do it after the corner. How about that? Oh, right, where are we? This one, there we go. I'll just give you a little bit of this. It might be a slight delay on the sound versus the visual, but you'll get an idea of how hard I'm having to work this thing. It's actually been quite sedate the last few corners. I invalidated my lap as well, didn't even see when. Oh, there you go. It's a 131.7 though. Not that it's going to matter because it's not valid and it's just practice anyway. 2 bites on the throttle through turn 1. We'll just abuse the track limits. You can hopefully see a little bit of the screen anyway, so you see what's going on.
Yellow flagging sector 3.
So one of the key things about this track is going to be learning which corners you can take all the curb and which corners you can just take some of the curb. Where do you have to watch for the white lines? Where can you just pretty much send it until the gravel? All these kind of things you're going to be learning over the next few weeks, I'm sure. But people are going to love this track. I can guarantee when you get your hands on this, you're going to enjoy it, even if you've never heard of the circuit before. Oh, big, yeah, just rotation in this thing. The throttle, it just wants to pull the back round, which I like in a car. Doesn't do me well in terms of tyre wear. Still rides the curb well as well, this car. Bit late on the brakes into the last corner, but you know what? It did it. I'm gonna go out of there. Anyway, so there's a little preview of the Merc. Goes up to P6 with that lap. I think it's time we jump in the Porsche. I'll try and get to some of your comments as well. Haha. Do you know what's funny, right? Talking about socks. Because we've apparently started a discussion about socks. I never ever sim race in socks here. I sim race in socks at home, but I never do it here. The only reason I am sim racing in socks tonight, and this is no word of a lie, is because my shoes broke about an hour ago. Genuinely, the sole came off the bottom, and I thought, well, socks it is. Thankfully, I'm wearing normal looking socks. But genuinely, that's the only reason. So I'm just trying to get used to it, actually. No slippage. Yeah, that's true. These are good pedals. We've done a review of them on the channel as well. If you want to go check that out, but they're really good, really grippy. Never had any issues whatsoever. Right, we're back in the Porsche, guys. We're back in the Porsche. Now, I have a setup for the Porsche. Thanks, Ross. So, and we will be sharing the setup with you guys some point soon. So we'll go for that, and we'll just we'll probably need to take down the pressures. We'll go with 1 click to start with. But yeah, we'll be making a track guide for Valencia when it launches. Obviously, it's very early days for me on this track, so I'm not fully up to speed yet. But I'm at a stage where hopefully you guys can learn some of the lines and some of the techniques around the corners. So I'm gonna, as I say, jump on and put in 20 liters because that's a little bit closer to the race. Yeah, I'm gonna jump on and show you guys around the circuit anyway, and hopefully help those of you who are new to it pick up stuff. Won't be top times, but I think the lap I did for the track guides at 1:30.6, so it's not too far away from what the likes of Gregor Schill are doing just now. Right, Porsche 992, the most confusing numbering system, because 992 refers to the model, so this is a newer, updated model of the Porsche 911. But they also previously had an updated version of the 991 911. So what that means is the old Porsche, or well, not the oldest Porsche, but the second Porsche, is called the 911 991 11, because it's the 2, GT3 R. This Porsche is the 911 992 GT3 R. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't get why they didn't call it something a bit more clear. Instantly, by the way, this changes. Whoa! Changes the way the force feedback feels. This car is very, very different to that Merc. Everything feels a lot lighter, more nimble. Get a nice view of the Ferrari 296 ahead as well. It's Rory Alexander, GT7 streamer. Met up with him in Poland a few months back. Didn't let me go. Right. Well, let's get back into Porsche mode because This feels so different.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
I won't manage to get, no Ross, I won't manage to get close to that. As I say, I've done a 30.6, but it was in slightly cooler conditions in hot lap mode. This is a bit hotter, and that was a really good lap at the time, so. But I don't know, I've done a 0.5 actually since then on this setup, so. But yeah, no. I'll get into the 30s, I'll be happy. So this Porsche, guys, is not like the previous Porsche. I mean, it is like the Porsche, I should say. It's not the same as the old Porsche. It doesn't drive the same. It still has the same characteristics and like fundamental personality traits, but it just feels more stable. It's a little bit, I mean, it's kind of like how the Ferrari is versus the old Ferrari, except the difference is maybe more vast in its personality with the Ferrari. This Porsche is still a Porsche. But we've done a comparison video, or hopefully have a comparison video out soon when we can, just to show you the difference between the old Porsche and the new one. But you just have to work it a lot less hard than the old Porsche. The old one is more unpredictable. That was terrible. It'll snap away from you far easier. This thing works with you, rides the curbs well, turns in well, brakes well. Actually gives you a lot of, you know, controlled traction out of the corners as well. Oh, okay, I say that. That was more on me.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Looks like we're having a whole socks versus shoes debate in the comments, which is always interesting. Right, that was a shocking lap, but we'll give it another go. We'll try and catch Danny, who's also in the Porsche. Mainly, as you can see, Porsches and Ferraris in the field. Doesn't really surprise me. Yes, that's legal. I know it's ridiculous. They could change some things as well before this launches as well, remember? So we're trying, the physics and everything are set, but they might still make some BOP changes. Track limits and stuff can always change. Not a great exit. If you want to read more about the changes as well in terms of physics and tyre model and all that stuff, just head over to the TraxionGG website, because we've got some articles up there explaining in detail more of the changes and how it affects setups and what they've done to combat the issues. A huge amount of changes have come in terms of the way the tyres work as well. And I am not an engineer, I'm not a setup guru by any stretch, but basically the tyre temperature is more sensitive from left to right, from outside to inside. And you can do a lot more to control that, and you know, those crazy hacks that make the car really quick are going to really hurt your temperatures, and they're going to have a bigger influence on your lap time. Low 31 inbound. We want to get into the 30s, but that puts us P3 at the moment. I think there's a big gap to the top two. Oh, I just love turn 1 around here. It's absolutely mega. Give Danny the hurry up. Again, track limits through there. It's all about gravel. As long as you don't touch the gravel, you're legal. Same through here. You can use all of the green concrete area. Can't get the nose in there. You want to be on the curb. But we'll get a nice slipstream. Oh, Danny's going to let us by. Thank you, Danny.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Bit tighter in there. Took the Pierce prior line. Gained a bit on entry, lost it a bit on exit. Oh, snapped on me again on entry there. The curbs are real, the teeth curbs on the second part of the concrete, they are lethal. They just send you up in the air. It's been a really scrappy second lap. Slightly quicker though. It was excellent sportsmanship. Tyres, yeah. So I can't really talk too much about the intricate detail of how they feel versus the previous one. You will notice a difference, but it still fundamentally feels like an ACC tyre model. It's just that you've got a little bit more movement and the heat change is more extreme. So like the difference between on a straight and on the corners is more extreme. I think the pressures are going to come into play as well. So tyre pressure window is now different. So now you want your tyres to be between 26 and 27 psi. So our old tyre pressure guide on the YouTube channel may be a little bit out of date now. But they've given us a bigger window to work with in terms of heat, which is cool. Oh, I tried really early on the power there, and that did not work. So you just have to manage it a little bit more, but it's not like, 26 to 27 is an ideal window. However, that doesn't mean that 26.5 is going to give you the perfect performance everywhere. There's more of an impact. So lower pressures, for example, will generate more heat in your tires. It'll give you probably a little bit more traction. Whereas the higher temperatures, or the higher pressures I should say, will manage the temperatures a bit more. It'll give you more, a more rigid, more stable tire, more precise, but maybe not quite as much ultimate grip. So you can kind of tailor them a little bit more to what you need from them. But at the same time, having a bigger window opens it up for people that are maybe, not wanting to spend 6 hours learning about tire pressures. They can just set it as they like it, jump in, get it within a full PSI window, and they're probably going to be fine, which is really nice. So you can see now my tyre pressures are too high, so I'm going to have to take them all down. I'm up to 27.5. The little widget needs updated, I think, because it doesn't reflect the new ideal window at the moment. But taking those down, we'll see the difference. I mean, let's actually test it. So let me get one more lap in. I'll try my best to go as quick as I can, and then we'll take the tyre pressures down and do a back-to-back run. See what difference it really makes. Pingu, love it.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Love a bit of Pingu. Oh, Pingu got me going wide. I blame Pingu. 2 tenths gone. Try a wider entry earlier on the power, cut across the exit. And you can see we did get a better exit, but we lost it on the entry, so it's probably 50-50. More stable through there though, and I've accidentally shifted to 4th. Oops. Tensed up my fingers over the curbs and got the shift. Right. Okay, so there was a bit of time there, but low 31s. You can see my pressures, they're pretty high. So let's jump back in and try lower pressures. It was great back in the day. Yeah, so Ross is saying, Ross is obviously more about setups than me. He's saying that there's 0.5 seconds there for bringing the pressures down. So let's do that. Let's actually just bring them down by like 0.6. Let's go extreme. Just so we can try and demonstrate it. So that's going to go way down. I was overheating them as well. I was sliding the car around a little bit. Right, let's try that. Let's just save over. Let's call this one 2331, just for context. Right, tires. Let's get a new set. Oh, they are new. Fantastic. Hope you guys are enjoying. Looking forward to the racing tonight. Right. Let's get out there. Let's get out there. So, yeah, just to summarize kind of what I was saying before, I haven't really done that much ACC racing on version 1.8. Yeah, I kind of used to be pretty, consistent in terms of esports competitions and keeping myself sharp with ACC. And then version 1.8 happened, and there was just lots of other things going on in my life, and I've not really been able to do much ACC-specific sim racing, other than the odd little thing for videos and stuff like that, and jumping in the odd fun race, like I did in the channel a few weeks ago. But yeah, the 1.9 is obviously, it's not going to reinvent the wheel. It's just going to improve little bits in so many areas. And I think having, an updated setup window and having new tire models and all of these little small physics adjustments to make it more fair and to prevent people using, you know, tricks that others don't know or don't like to get the best performance is really going to help things on an esports front. I'm going to let George past as well. He's not exactly a slouch. That was a terrible, terrible blue flagging. I do apologise. Thought I'd be able to get stopped in that gap a bit easier. How's it going, Die Zombie? Ooh, Jonas behind, I believe. Champion Joe, 2.6 behind. Ugh, that's going to invalidate the lap and probably invalidate the next one as well. So we'll see what happens, but the tyres aren't in the window anyway. I mean, the right rear is 24.6. Just remember, the new window is 26 to 27 PSI. So we'll probably need to do another lap to get them in. Kunos have also said that this Porsche hasn't really, you know, the BOP's not been finalised yet, and you may find that at some places it's actually slower than the old Porsche, so there's still a bit of work to do in terms of getting it up to speed. It is just a better car, therefore it's been more heavily bopped, but that's still something that needs to be balanced. But that is also a key to this update. There is a BOP update, and I have to say from experience so far, they've done a really good job with it. The cars are pretty close together. You know, doing a few laps in the Ferrari, a few in the Porsche. There was not much to separate them in terms of lap time. Right, we're bringing the tyres in now, getting there, maybe the next lap. I mean, I'm feeling like they're too low now. I was properly overheating them earlier, I think, with my terrible oversteery driving. Good to hear. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Very, very good. Been looking forward to this for a wee while. Very busy at the moment. We were doing the GT Challenge broadcast last night over on the R Factor 2 Twitch channel, which was good fun. We'll see this today, so plenty of live streaming. And we're going to be doing more live play style stuff on the Traxion channel as well. We've got Piers joining us now, who's obviously in the chat, and we're going to be seeing much more of him, and we're going to try and think of some fun challenges to do. Can use all of that green concrete on the inside as well. Right, let's see what we can do in this lap then. You want to get on that striped curb as well. You can see, if you don't get it, I don't know if you noticed the exit there, but it was really poor. Lost like a good 10th, I'd say, just because I didn't get the curb, and it kind of hooks you in, which just gives you that better drive out of the corner. This is all about early power application, so I'm on the power way before the apex, and the car just sticks. Right, we're kind of getting into the window, at least with the fronts now. Maybe need to take the rears up again a little bit. Didn't get the downshift, that's my bad. Drifting too early. Few bites on throttle there, but it really helps in the exit. Found a little bit in the last corner as well, so we're still not into the 30s yet in these track conditions and stuff, but it is a quicker lap. Now, rear tyres are a bit closer again. We're going to use those track limits as long as we can. Really, really enjoying this MPX wheel as well. And the dashboard display unit. You guys can't see it right now, but oh my word, it's a work of art, that thing. Right, 2 tenths up on this one. We've lost a bit on the exit, but come on, we want to get a 30. Went for a bit of a more point and squirt route through that corner. It didn't really work, and we've got traffic, sadly. We're going to squeeze through. But there goes our lap time, probably. Might still be green, though. Give it a try. Yeah, it's barely. A couple of hundreds. We did nail. Oh my god. That's why you've got to watch out for those curbs. Because if you try and attack that corner and get it wrong, hello, that's going to happen. And that's completely thrown us off. The rears are getting a little bit hot as well. You can see the tyre temperature coming into play. You've got a slightly cold front left, slightly hot rear left or rear right. And setup changes will have a massive impact on those things now. Try second gear through here. I do think third's better though.
Yellow flag in sector 3. Yellow flag out. Watch out.
Oversteer, this is oversteer central. I was trying to read you guys' comments and there's really not much time to do it around here. Even that back straight isn't really a straight. You've got a curve to think about, a braking point to think about. Basically, unless I'm on the pit straight, it's going to be very difficult to keep up. I think Alex might be in the chat as well on the TraxionGG, controlling the TraxionGG YouTube channel, so say hi to Alex. Oh, power too early, it's going to be invalid. Yep, there you go. Right, let's practice pit lane entry then. Where's the pit lane entry line around here? So you got pretty much a flat out run in that first bit. I've got automatic pit limiter on, I think. So there's pit lane entry, if you were wondering. You probably weren't. We're going to pull it in though and head back to the pits. See who we've got. Yeah, so I mean Gregor and George up in the Ferraris. Not surprised to see Niles, Yardier up there as well. Everyone's pretty close. We've obviously got a couple of tenths in us, so we're in that kind of area. But I think Niles and Yardier are gonna they're gonna find a bit more pace later on as well. Aris is here as well, which is cool. You definitely need to check out some of Aris's streams if you want to know more about the intricate detail of these setup changes, because basically what I tell you is just what Aris has given us, but in much more simplified, easy to understand version. So any information I give you, I've got from Aris and tried to translate it in a way that I understand as well. If you're more technically minded, go check out his streams. The details are incredible. Absolutely incredible. You said that was a great save. I don't even know what save we're talking about. I can't even remember what save it was. Maybe it was the, it was probably the oversteer around the fast chicane, right? Also, you can see I'm the only silver driver. I might be the only one in the field. Oh, there's two of us. That's because I'm on the Traxion account. And let's just say, let the driver ranking tell you more about my colleagues and how they drive on ACC. Sorry, that's a bit harsh. See you later, Rose. Have a good evening. Speak to you tomorrow. Everything seems to be working okay in the stream. Just gonna have a quick look. Everything does seem to be working okay. Nice. Okay, excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. 10 minutes to go, guys, until qualifying. So I wonder if it's worth, you know what, I'll do some quali runs. I mean, I'm already on really low fuel anyway, so let's just bash it down a bit more. For quali, we're probably going to want to take the tire pressures up a little bit, just to get a bit more heat in them early. So we'll maybe go 3 clicks up on the rear, maybe 1 click up on the front. I mean, that's a guess. Let's just give it a go. Hey, Cameron. I know exactly what you mean. I bully. My account's probably not much better, to be fair. Right, let's give this a go then. Just barely made any changes, to be honest. Just do a simulation of a quali run, since we're going to be doing qualifying soon. I believe it's a 10-minute session, so maybe get 1 or 2 runs at it. 2 races tonight, guys. First race is a 20-minute sprint, bone dry conditions, 10-minute qualifying, and then the second race. There is a second race. It's going to be 30 minutes long just after, with a chance of rain. And I have not driven this circuit in the rain, so that's going to be fun.
Yellow flag accepted.
Not driven. When's the last time I raced an ACC in the rain? That's a question for Ross, probably. That's harsh, Kingdom. That's harsh. Okay, so we've got plenty of temp in our front brakes and all that. Plenty of temp in the tyres. Just the rear brakes need to come up. We'll see if we can finally get our 30 on this little run here. What have we got? 27 racecraft. Who's been on this? Who am I blaming? 27. 72 safety rating. Okay, that's, you know, understandable. But 27 racecraft. Unbelievable. Right, let's go be bad. Seven litres of fuel. You're using, in this Porsche, around about 2.25 litres per lap. I can tell that because of my DDU, which I will show you again shortly. But it tells you literally live, every single lap, exactly how much fuel you've used as you cross the line. It's just fantastic. Again, you want to be on that curb. I keep saying it because I keep missing it.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Staying third through here, just for the stability. Probably slightly quicker in second if you get everything else right. Be interesting to see if the tyres come up straight away though, or if the second lap's going to be quicker, because again, you can look at the pressures, they're just a bit low. You want 26 at least, and we're only just getting there with the front left and nothing else, so I think maybe second lap's quicker in qualifying. Again, I've missed the apex there. That's just classic. All the time goes away.
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Aris, 100%. He is ChatGPT, especially of ACC, obviously. I mean, this man is. I love him. I love him. I mean, he's got so much info, so much knowledge. He's such a nice character as well. So fun to watch, and just really explains things in a way that someone like me who doesn't have a clue has a clue. Like, he makes me feel like I'm an engineer just by watching him. He's amazing. I'm gonna be racing against him tonight, of course, in the Mercedes. So thanks, Aris, for all of your work on this game. You've developed one heck of a system. Still legal. Come on, get the curb. Way! Didn't get enough of it, but we got it, and look at the difference.
Yellow flag, be careful.
Just be better is what we're saying. You can really use the sliding of this car to your advantage in qualifying. It's not a great technique for a long race, but I'm going to abuse it for short runs. Use the tyres. Use the throttle to get it rotated as well. Oh no, no! Look at that time go. Terrible exit. Goodbye, my time. Goodbye, my friend. Okay, we're still going to set a PB, but yeah, 3/10's gone in the last sector. But yeah, now we've got really good tyre pressure. So I reckon 3 qualifying laps might be the way to go here, guys. Oh, too early, too early. That is what happens when you turn in too early. So you've got to get as much on that green concrete as possible, but nowhere near, you cannot go beyond it, basically. Same here, like, you know, there you can see the bumps, you can see the grass, it just doesn't work. So you've just got to be so precise, and it flows beautifully. like you're on just this stunning Scalextric circuit when you get it right. But if you just misjudge it, a couple of centimeters on the grass, you are toast. Right. How much fuel we got? 1.4 litres. We're not going to get another lap in, so I'm going to pull it in and see what's happening. Right. Cheers, Lewis. Have a good evening. Hope the little one's well and all that. 3 minutes to go till qualifying, so we're going to have a quick look. The race, will it be broadcast? I don't know. I think it's normally streamed on the ACC channel. You can go find out as you want. Or well, maybe it starts when qualifying starts, but honestly, I'm not sure. I think it's been streamed in the past with commentary and stuff. Lots of promising new games hopefully coming out this year, Michael. Obviously, well, talking about promising new games, obviously Forza is not a new game, but that'll be fun, Forza Motorsport. Obviously, we're hoping for Test Drive Unlimited. We know everything about Rennsport and what that could bring. There's lots of good stuff coming up. There's probably some other exciting good stuff coming up that we don't know as much about, or stuff that I can't tell you about, or nobody can tell you about that maybe none of us know about yet. But there are definitely some exciting stuff in the pipeline. I'm really looking forward to TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge 3. That's going to be a really, really good fun one. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the next WRC game as well, as a rally fan. We're going to see what EA and Codemasters can do. I mean, we've seen what they can do with Dirt Rally, haven't we? But let's see what they can do with the official license. I think that's going to be cool. Same as me, Porkhammer. Race 07 this was a track I really liked and played a lot, but I've never done it since. And I was saying at the start, I honestly didn't realize how much I loved this circuit. It's amazing. It's such a good circuit. But it doesn't look that good. It just looks boring, and you drive it and you're like, oh my goodness, I love this place. I had that with Misano, but nowhere near to this extent. This is a better circuit to drive. Interesting to see what the racing's going to be like, but hopefully good. And oh, your tyre widget bar. I hadn't even noticed, Ross, to be honest. I was too busy concentrating on missing my apexes for the camera. Yes, it is the new Porsche. This is the 992. There's 3 of us up here in the top 5. If I go and improve, you know, I could be up there with Niles, but it's going to be close. But it looks like Ferraris and Porsches at the top. Aris and the Mercedes. I've heard the Mercedes might be the quickest car around here, but thanks to the new BOP, it's really, really close. Yeah, barely anyone in the Lambos. We've got Terry down here in 23rd. We've got a couple of Lambos at the back. Oh, Denise is here as well in P20. Dan Suzuki, Mr. Git. Everyone's here. Not a single Lambo on a stream. Oh, that's a shame. That is a real shame. You can jump back on our stream and watch a few laps on board if you want. It wasn't... The Lambo didn't surprise me, and I mean that in a... You know, some of the other cars surprised me in a good way. The Porsche was just a Porsche, but it was surprising in just how much I loved it. Just in terms of how it felt that little bit better than the old one. The Ferrari surprised me, for sure, in a good way, because it didn't feel... Like, I'm not a big fan of driving the 488. I can see myself picking up and driving the 296 for sure in future. Whereas the Lambo, apparently it's got more downforce, more grip and everything. It did feel heavier. It felt like a more sophisticated Lambo. It did feel like it had solid grip without necessarily having, you know, massive turn in, initial bite and everything. Bearing in mind, this is like 3 laps we're talking on the aggressive default setup, so it's not fair to judge it fully on that. Gonna have a quick drink before we go. Gonna mute up so you don't hear me making horrendous drinking noises. Righty-ho. Let's see then. Let's see what we've got. Let's make sure we've got a new set of tyres for qualifying. Yep. Looks good. 9 litres of fuel. That should be fine for the laps we want to do. I kind of think 2 runs in 5 minutes might be the way to go, but the first lap's not going to be as quick. So maybe I'll put in an extra litre just to make sure we get that extra last lap in. And we'll see how we get on. I would love to get a top 5 in qualifying. It's not important. We're here for a bit of fun. It's going to be a laugh, but I think it's more fun if we try and take it somewhat seriously and try and do my best. And it's been a long time since I've raced with these guys. when I'm on my A game on ACC, I can fight with Jardier maybe on a good day when he's on a medium day, but you know, we're talking years, like a year ago here, and I've done about one race since then. So I'm not looking to be fighting these guys for the whole night. But I tell you what, I'll do my best. I'll try and get up there somewhere. Main thing is that you guys get a good look at these new cars, or at least this new car in my case, and have some fun. Interesting to see what it does in the wet as well, if it turns out to be wet. Right, I think we're good to go, but I'm just going to check to be sure, because we're not in a massive rush. Right, we're good. So let's go out and get in a qualifying lap. Hopefully this is a chance to break into the 30s. What's the temperatures and stuff, actually? Is it still the same? Yeah, 24, 32. We'll go with it. Let's go just for the outlap as well, again on the shoulder cam, just to show you the setup. Thankfully you can't see too much of my hairy legs. But just a reminder, we've got the Grid Engineering MPX steering wheel on the rig at the moment, which you guys haven't seen on this channel because we've just reviewed it last week and we've been playing with it for a couple of weeks now. Spoiler alert, it's the nicest steering wheel I've ever used, full stop. The nicest steering wheel. I mean, I've not used many third-party premium steering wheels. I've not used any third-party premium steering wheels actually since we've been here at Traxion. But oh, that Ferrari was having a little bit of a look, so I backed out of that one. So yeah, that's one thing. But so I've not really got a fair comparison to make with this wheel versus its real competition in a sense. But I must say, compared to the wheels I have used, this is the best. I absolutely love it. I think it looks stunning as well with all the lights on. You can customize everything. Full review is coming on Traxion, hopefully this weekend. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. And then of course we have the 10-inch dashboard display as well, which is an official Porsche replica dash. High quality. All this information is live. It's real. It works. It's brilliant. You've also got LEDs which you can't see right now, but you will normally be able to see. But we are going to get back to focus on ACC qualifying here. That's a terrible way to start the lap, but I tell you what, it'll work out okay if we get a good exit. Eight minutes to get a lap time in. Missed the apex somewhat in turn one. Overtaking is going to be interesting, that's for sure around here. Nice safe banker time in anyway. That is how neatly you can take. I think it's turn 12 if you do it carefully. You gain a lot from it, but obviously you want to be committed on a quali lap to just get those extra little bits and then hope that the bumps don't send you away. Okay, this is probably going to be like a mid-31 or something for this first lap. 31.7, there you go. We'll take P1, screenshot it, quick. Still legal. I'm going to say that every time. Really feel the tires coming in the second lap. Really bad through there, but better than the first lap. It does sound good, doesn't it? It sounds phenomenal, and it does sound a lot better than the old Porsche as well. There's a big difference when you drive them back to back. Oh, thank you.
Car on the right.
Kind of
Clear on the right.
mucked up my braking a bit. I'm going to go invalid. No, we're still valid. Ruined our last corner, but it wasn't their fault at all. I just was distracted. We'll try and do one more though,
Red on lane. Crossing the fastest lap.
and then we'll pull in for some new boots if we have to abandon this one.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Slipstream, please. Still legal, thank you. Forgot. Rubbish. Rubbish. I'll let you down, Piers. Turn. I haven't decided my line through there yet. What's best? We are 2/10 up. Too much curb. Yeah. So that there, folks, is what happens when you try and bite too much off in the fast chicane, because that happens. You need to watch out. You can just about ride that green the green curb far on the inside, the sausage curb, but no more than ride. If you try and crash over it, you've had it. You've had it. Right. Let's put in some less litres. Let's jump out, get 1 or 2 more laps in. Currently P5, but obviously a bit more time in us. Really want to get into the 30s. The new physics are here. This is the updated physics, updated tyre model. Everything's fairly subtle, but important, if that makes any sense. They will make a difference, even though you're not going to jump on it straight away and just think, oh my goodness, this is entirely different.
Yellow flag
And let
in
this car
sector
by.
3. Car on the left.
Nope.
Clear on the left.
Sorry about that, I was a bit close, my bad. It's going to be close as to whether we get 2 laps in here or 1. But I don't want to get too close to the car in front. Probably should have just kept going, shouldn't I? Just a reminder as well, thank you, another good save that I shouldn't have had to make because I'm not good enough to actually avoid having to make it. Just another reminder as well, guys, that the big thing with this update, as well as the new track that we're driving right now at Valencia, is the changes to the setup and the way the tyres behave, the temperature builds, the fact that you can no longer abuse the bump stops to maximise your performance in terms of lowering ride height and all sorts of stuff. Your dampers have been adjusted. Everything's more realistic. Realistic changes should have better, more meaningful impacts now, rather than crazy setups that can find people pace. The crazy setups might still make you fast, briefly, but they're really going to muck up your temperatures. They're going to leave you with no wiggle room on anything, and they're really going to struggle at certain tracks as well. Right, let's try and be better, shall we? I've tried to give myself enough space to get 2 hot laps in and not catch the car in front, and I think I've just about done it. Oh, it's going to be so close. Yeah, 132. Yeah, okay. I think we can get 2 laps in here, though. Cheers, Brandon. First lap's not going to be quick anyway, I think, because the tyres haven't come up to pressure, but we'll try, because we should be able to go faster. That's the curb I wanted earlier.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Nope. This is the tricky one for me. Really hard to know how far wide to push it on the entry. Delay your power there and straighten up the steering as much as possible in the exit. Much better, I think. Slightly better. Oh, we're just going to be too close, but let's see if they back off. Next lap's going to be... Oh, they are. Brilliant. Okay, I've mucked up, though. I'm so bad at looking where everyone else is in the last corner and forgetting to actually do the corner. Anyways, right, we are going to just get our last lap in here, guys. It's going to run out just after we cross the line, I believe. Yes. Okay, we should still get this lap. Genuinely couldn't have timed that better if I tried, so I'm going to focus now.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Oh no, got on the curb, but we'll power out of it. That's going to lose us loads of time. Lap's gone, but we'll keep pushing anyway because we might still improve. See if we can gain a position. Maybe not. Nope. Thought we'd gone in too deep, but might get away with it on the exit. It's going to be touch and go. Actually did the last corner. Yeah, we're not. We could get ahead of Jardier. Can we beat Jardier? Just about. P6. Could have been a lot better, but could have been worse. Could have been worse. Look at that at the top, though. Top 3, you guys are going to have a great race. And just talking about bop, 1/100th of a second between a Porsche and a Ferrari at the top. Then you've got me and Jardier separated by a couple of hundreds. Niles, obviously in a Porsche. There's basically the grid seems well balanced. A couple of Ferraris right up there, but a lot of Porsches as well. And then Aris, pretty much dead bang in the middle in the Mercedes. No Lambos, sadly, in the top 20, but yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a good race. I might need pole in this race. Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not gonna help you there. Cheers, Troy. Yes, the Porsche is easier to drive, for sure. So we've done a side-by-side, back-to-back comparison with the two Porsches, both on the aggressive default setup. The new one is easier to drive than the old one, I'm telling you that right now. I'm driving it fairly aggressively. I'm making mistakes with it, but the old one is more snatchy. It's more oversteery. When it bites harder. This one is a bit more sophisticated, a bit more smooth, and it drives a little closer to some of the other cars, put it that way. It's still fully unique, still feels like a Porsche, but it doesn't have as extreme a character as the old one, and it just feels better. It genuinely just feels better. We should get racing. Yes, so we're in the new Porsche. I'm going to be starting on the third row with Niles. I doubt I'm going to be able to hang on with that pack. But here we go, 20-minute race, straight in. Top end speed, I'm afraid I haven't worked that out yet. But keep an eye on the Traxion website, because we will be doing an article. I'm pretty confident. I know Ross has been testing out top speed, so he might be able to answer you. But we're going to hopefully be able to bring you that information of whether or not the car is actually better. In terms of top speed. Let's load up the race version, shall we, with slightly less aggressive tyre pressures. I think 20-minute race, 35 litres, 36 to be safe. We'll get a new set of tyres, because that's not a good idea. And then we should be about right with that, I think. If you want to see the setup, here you go. As I say, Ross has made this, but I will be sending it. I will be putting it on the track guide as well, the lap guide that we've done, which was a 130.6. But I did a 130.5 on this setup a couple laps later, so this setup's better than the one in the track guide. but we will be sharing this fully with you if you haven't had the chance to take it down just now in our track guide. So make sure you come back for that later in the week. Then we've got electronics here as well. Cheers, Carlo. Appreciated. PS5, we do not have confirmed dates yet for console releases, unfortunately. And there you go. Kind of taking a bit of a guess at the PSI. We didn't really do any testing with these temps, but that's the thing with ACC. You've got to be able to wing it a little bit. You can never predict exactly what the conditions are going to be. But for this race, I just want to not crash into anyone, have a bit of fun, ease back into ACC for the first time in a while, and yeah, just enjoy it. Wish me luck. Thank you, Carlo, again. I'll need it. "20 minutes around Valencia." So, this is now the test. How is this track going to race? Where's the overtaking spots going to be? How easy is it going to be to avoid incidents? You know, track limits, is it going to be tricky? Following people, different lines and different cars, all of that is about to be revealed. Okay, I think we're good in the stream, so let's focus up and have a good race. Cheers, Justin. Cheers, Alex. I'll do my best to represent us. But I am against, you know, ESL R1 drivers, so let's just temper expectations a little bit. I think Niles is my teammate actually in this race, both in the kind of green and grey Porsches.
Clear on the right.
Oh, Porsche down the inside. That was a misjudgment on my end in terms of turning in a bit too early. A little bit more of a V shape through there, it looks like, than some of the others. Everyone else hugging it a bit tighter. Maybe that's the way. It's going to be really annoying to follow a Porsche around here if I'm just focusing always on my exits. So far so good though. Lap 1, no major incidents. Everyone's taking it reasonably careful. Now the Porsche shouldn't be too strong in a straight line. I think you'll see the Ferrari may have an advantage, but who knows. T1 is definitely not an overtaking opportunity unless you're fully alongside, which we are definitely not. You've got to try and set it up for T2. Oh, Jardy, I'm going to let him go because I didn't want contact there. Absolutely sent one down the inside. So you can run side by side through here. Side by side through here. And we'll give him the room. And get a good traction in the Porsche though. We're still just getting the overlap. It'll stop him taking his braking point. That's us though. So Jardy is through, fair play. You know, in a proper race I may have defended a bit differently, but I just didn't want him to make contact into turn 2 and cause us both a bit of damage. There's just no point. But the whole thing of tonight is just having a bit of fun, having some racing, seeing how it races. It's been a fairly positive start. Get back into my race rhythm. Right, tyre pressures now, guys. Looking a bit better. So 26.0 on the front left, that is the window. You're looking for 26 to 27 all round. So we are definitely getting there. One thing I'm noticing so far as well, the reference points I've been using so far for braking points, turning points, all that kind of stuff, especially braking points, are quite difficult to see when you're following closely, and that's something I'm going to have to learn, and you're all going to have to learn, you know, what reference points to look for and where they are on the circuit. Are they going to be on the tarmac and be blocked by cars in front, stuff like the white lines beside the curbs? You can't see them from everywhere, so that's something that we're going to have to adapt to, and the more races you do around here, the better. Got the first warning finally. So everyone else is taking a tighter line through here, the Pierce Pryor line, which he told me to do. Seems like it works for them. See what Jardia can do about Zach up in front. I think it's Zach anyway. See what a bit more commitment in there does to your stability. Those guys are all over the place on the curbs, just trying to push, whereas I was a little bit slower on the entry, had a much safer run through, safer exit, but because they didn't get fired off, they probably gained half a tenth, something small like that. But in a long race, you're going to want to get the exit at that corner right. Tyre pressure's looking very nice now, and here goes Jardier. We'll try and take advantage of this. Got no reference point on the inside there, because my usual reference point is the white strip on the concrete, and that's just not possible from the inside to see. There's the strips.
Car on the left.
Tried a cheeky one there on Zach.
Clear on the left. Car on the
He's
left.
going to let Jardia get away, and it's probably going to bring in the cars behind, but that was worth a shot. Bit of fun. He's going to defend the inside. We'll try a late cut back. Try and send him wide. Nope. He's sensible, and it's like the Ferrari through behind. My line through here in qualifying is definitely going to leave me compromised in the race. So I'm going to have to learn a better race line through that hairpin. Again, couldn't see the reference point following someone that closely. You have to find alternatives. The Ferrari's looking racy behind, but I'm going to just try and just about defend the inside, but also focus on my exit. So kind of compromise mid-corner, so you get good entry, good exit, or safe entry I should say. So this is the premier event, so you guys will be able to buy this DLC very soon. This is just a teaser of what's to come for all of you very, very soon. So we're obviously getting questions in about the new cars, the new physics. And similarly, you know, just to kind of recap what I've been saying earlier, the new cars are generally speaking, they feel like more comfortable and improved and mature versions of their existing counterparts. So obviously Ferrari 296 is new, but it feels a lot easier and more manageable than the 488, a bit less snappy, a bit less aggressive. Still got some of the characteristics. It's kind of stiff feeling nature, the force feedback, everything like that. The sound is different as well though. Looks different. This Porsche feels just better than the old one, is the easiest way of describing it. It feels, it's easier to drive, a bit less, again, a bit less chaotic, a bit less aggressive. So couldn't quite get an overlap, sadly, so I'll back out of that one for now. It still feels like the Porsche 911, but the 992 just has better aero, I think, and better mechanical grip. So the only thing that's really going to hurt it is bop. but obviously BOP doesn't necessarily affect the handling of the car and the way it feels, so it's going to be a great car to drive. It's just not going to be much quicker because naturally it's GT3 racing, so nothing is allowed to be much quicker. And then you've got the new Lambo as well, which I haven't driven much, but it's apparently more grippy, more downforce. Felt a bit heavier than the other two on first thoughts. But the main thing is the new suspension, new tyre physics, new setup window, I should try and say. Finally got my apex through the chicane. That's a slide I didn't want. It's going to hurt the tyre temps, which is going to be more important now. And you can see my right sides are a bit yellow, left side's a bit of blue, so a lot more temperature change between outside, middle and inside of the tyre. That's a big, big thing. And I've got my second track limits warning, I need to be careful. Very easy around here, to be fair. We are a bit quicker than Zach at the moment, but the closer you get, the harder it is to pick out your references. I'm learning a heck of a lot from this race, I must say. Force feedback, very, very similar. So there are some changes to the force feedback, but it's only because of the suspension and setup changes and tyre model changes. So it's not actually deliberate changes to the force feedback, it just slight tweaks. And I haven't really noticed much of a difference, but just to reiterate, I'm not someone who's been playing a lot of ACC recently on 1.8, so honestly I'm not the right person to tell you about the specific nuance differences. This Ferrari's all over the back. That's not an overtaking chance here, so we'll pull back in. Just focus on this next corner. Yeah, I think we're good. But yeah, so I'm the wrong person to give you a truthful answer about the comparison of force feedback, but it feels really good. I'll say that, but it's always felt good to me. Definitely worth looking at Aris's live streams if you want to know more about the intricate details of those things, because he's the man behind a lot of it. Getting a nice view of the new Porsche, of the rear end of it anyway. Try and think of a way past Zach here. Could have maybe dived one there, but didn't feel like a sensible idea. Get my right sides up a little hot. Probably my driving style, to be honest. I'm quite aggressive with this car at the moment. Not really being kind to it on tyres, so that will cost me late in the race, but it's not a long race, so I'm not too fussed. The question is, will we get Zach before the 8 minutes are up? Will he get us back if we do get him? That's too deep. You could feel that straight away in the pedal, the lock-up. I knew I wasn't going to make the corner, so whatever's happening with the physics, it is translating that information to me. I knew I wasn't going to make that one. Don't think he's going to make a move here, surely. Oh, he is going to make a move. Interesting. I'm going to leave a bit of room. Okay, that was they were just sending a nose in there, completely fair. Didn't, you know, I thought they were going to make a big dive, so I kind of left the room. And he'd left the room anyway, so it was more of a taunt, trying to push me out wide. That hopefully isn't the track limits, because I'm pretty close to getting a drive-through, I think, which I got last time and then forgot to serve. Racing drivers. I'm seeing a lot of drive-throughs being cleared though, so maybe if we abuse them, they'll let us go. Oh, hang on. Zach's gone. Not sure why. That's a shame. I was really enjoying the following. At least now we can get some clean track. Maybe we can make a gap, because I feel like my pace could have been a little bit better in this race. Yeah, 54.4 feels good at this point. I'm not sure what the what a common brake bias is, or what you like. If you like it more forward, more rearwards. I like it as it is though. Oh dear. Terrible through the last corner. Right, we've got Niles and Yardier up ahead. They're going to be too quick. Just, it's all about hanging on to this position now. Getting some clean laps in. Two bites of the cherry in T1, not good. Porsche is really coming into its own in the middle of the circuit with the kind of flowing corners. Just so nimble, this car. I think a more smooth driving style, by the way, guys, wouldn't be overheating the tyres like I am. I'm just going slightly too warm in them, but it's the way I'm sliding it around. So I think that's a good sign. You know, if I feel like I'm being too hard on my tyres the way I'm driving, and I'm being punished for it with heat, it's a good sign that it's doing what it should be. Oh my god. I'm making a gap now though, so it's going to be a lonely remainder of this race. But of course, we have a second race coming up. Half an hour, maybe a bit of rain as well, which will be interesting to see how it feels. It's been a long time since we've had that. Don't know how the Porsche handles the rain. You'll have to let me know what to do. If we need wet tyres. Trying to remember my pressures. I think you need higher pressures, don't you, in the wet? 29 or something. Yeah, there, you want to be more over that curb. I'm going to lift because I do not want a penalty. Thank you. I don't know if they'll address the track limits thing, because T1 it feels a bit ridiculous. It's a little bit like, you know, the right-hander at the end of the back straight, Paul Ricard. It's just so lenient. It feels like you can run miles off the road and get away with it. And that's kind of what we've got here. So I wonder if they will do something about that. I'm not sure. If it's designed deliberately that way, if that's what it is in real life, that's terrible. As in the corner, not the track limits. Actually, both. Really beginning to struggle now with tyres, so I just need to be a little bit slower into the corners, a bit smoother. I'm kind of still trying to drive it like the tyres are there, and because they're not, I'm running wide, so I need to adjust more on entry to compensate. Such a tricky corner. Right, we're 2.9 behind Jardier. Let's give us something to chase that gap. It's quicker on the last lap, but so was the chap behind. Right, get the green curve. There we go. That's more like it. Green all the way. Been a better lap so far. Good battle, it looks like, between Niles and Batterfiller for P4. That's a better lap. A little bit more like it with the tyre wear. You will have to buy the DLC. Hopefully, I can't post anything right now, but hopefully, when the information comes out very soon, and you can find out everything you need to know about it all on the Traxion website, you'll be able to find out what you can get, how much it's going to cost. So your number one source is the TraxionGG website for all your news relating to ACC. I know that the editorial team spend a lot of time on that game, and they're always on it. Thanks, Alex. There's also an update to the existing Mercedes as well, so you will get some changes, and obviously the force feedback and all these kind of things. The DLC is just the content. Let's get the power nice and early. Use the rear tyres while we've got them with 20 seconds to go in this race. We're holding the gap to Jardier, but I'm having to drive fairly quickly in my terms to do so. So that's not going to change anytime soon, but we are comfortable now in our position. Yeah, you can really see it, can't you? You can see the temperature change is far more drastic. The difference between cornering and turning is different. Sorry, cornering and straight lines. Bigger difference, more extremities on the tyre temps, and you've really got to control and monitor the tyres. And it's not just through different driving styles, it's through setup as well. It's through camber adjustments, you know, stuff like that. Basically, if you go maximum negative on the toe, that, you know, would have worked in the past, but now that's going to really, really heavily impact your spread of wear and temperature. So you can't just do that anymore and get away with it. You're going to have consequences for going max negative toe more than you did before. And that's kind of what that's all about. So it really does help not only make the cars feel a little bit better, but it makes them easier to set up in a natural way. It makes them more difficult to set up in an unnatural advantage using some kind of trick that you know about. It's all, in my eyes, it's all positive. It's all good. I haven't felt anything negative with this update. And I mean, it looks to be providing close racing. Pace-wise, you know, we've got different cars similar in pace. You've got, you know, the drivers you'd expect to be battling each other close together. I'm pretty much, you know, in terms of pace, where I feel like at this current stage I probably should be relative to everyone else. So that's a good sign when we're in different cars. On the power, there we go. Race finish, P7. Not a dream result, but you know, I was a bit tentative early on. I don't think we could have beaten Jardier anyway, and it was just a real shame that, you know, we lost Zach from that race, because that would have been a good battle. But it did give us a chance to get some free running, get a feel for the tyres during a longer stint. Here we go. You just missed the race. It's good. First few laps, first half of the race was really exciting, and then we chatted a bit more in the second half. But yeah, good stuff. Thoroughly enjoyable, and racing at Valencia works. You know, there's definitely opportunities for dangerous moves and dive bombs, and you know, there's a few times there where I felt like I was kind of diving out the way just to be safe. But you can definitely go for it around here. You can definitely make overtakes happen. Difficult to follow, difficult because it's one of those circuits with not many reference points other than the ones on the circuit, which are easy to see in clean air, difficult to see when you're right behind someone. So that is something you're going to have to learn with experience, and you're going to have to just get naturally used to where the braking zones are. Definitely worth practicing racing online or just against the AI to learn how to drive this place without free sight ahead of you. But yeah, I mean, high praise for the circuit. And there it is. Porsche took the win, and then a couple of Ferraris, second and third. Server's going down. We're going to get a new server. So yeah, guys, one more race to go. Bit longer this next one. We're going into it very soon, and we're also going to have rain potentially. Don't know if there's going to be rain. Don't know if it's scripted or anything, but we're going to be coming back, so it's going to be very exciting. Stick around. I'm going to take just a few minutes to take a breather, have a drink of water, and yeah, we'll be back very soon. Hello everyone, I'm back. Hope you're enjoying stuff so far. We will be up and running with the second race very shortly. Just need to get the make sure the server details are okay. Let me go and have a look. So yeah, I want to know if you guys are going to be taking this on yourself. So you're going to be buying the DLC. Do you like the look of Valencia? We're back in. We are back in. Hopefully. Bit more love for the Lambos this time, which is nice to see. Looks like we've got very, very similar track temps and everything, so that should be alright. Don't leak the server details. Good call. I'm being very, very careful for that exact reason. Right, now we've got to get back into high grip qualifying mode. The tyre temps were just getting a bit high on me in that race. I wonder if it's worth being a little bit softer on them early on. I don't know, because the problem I have is, you know, if I go out there and try and be soft on my tyres, I'm just, you know, I'm risking losing too much ground in the early laps, losing positions, and then being stuck in a train even if I have more pace at the end. My pace at the end of that race was alright, but go for a little bit of shoulder cam for the outlap. Oh, Jardy has gone the Porsche, so he's switched. Welcome on board. Oh, doing a quick server restart as well, guys. Just looks like.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Let's have a look at the back of that Ferrari, shall we? We can't see it right now. There you go. Oh. Well, it was fun while it lasted. That's the wrong button. There we go. We're going to do a server reset. So there's a slight issue with that, so we'll jump back in. And then we should have a 5-minute practice. So basically, just if you have any questions about the DLC, about ACC, about Traxion in general, do let us know in the comments. We're going to be hopefully getting back on this more often. And we're going to be doing some challenges with peers and all sorts of stuff. We've actually got a Q&A on the go at the moment where we're looking for basically anyone who has any questions to do with Traxion content or the sim racing game world. We want to hear the questions because we want to try and get as many answers to you guys as possible. So we're trying to prepare for a video on that. So if you do have anything you want to ask and you don't want to ask it in the server or you think of it later on, give us a shout, basically. We will see what we can do. Right, let's see if the server's back up. I'm having a lot of fun around here. I am having a lot of fun. Right, we'll jump in, see if that does the trick.
Green light.
Looks like we're good now. Let's get a setup on then. The thing about this as well, the setup isn't hugely, you know, modified. It doesn't make a huge difference in terms of lap time to the aggressive default. I found 3 or 4 tenths on a quali lap between the aggressive default and this when I was, you know, I only did a few laps with the aggressive default and I managed to get fairly close. So I think that's really going to help more casual players and people like me who don't really do setups, don't know how to do setups very well. We do have a setup guide on the Traxion channel, which I did a lot of research for, so you're best referring to that setup guide if you want setup tips from me, because if you speak to me live, I'll really struggle to retain all that information. But yeah, you know, for people like me who maybe jump between different cars, jump in a race every so often, jump in the competition server, you want the aggressive default setup to be somewhat there or thereabouts. I can understand, of course, you can't make a default setup that suits everyone. You know, even the aggressive default setup needs to be easy enough to drive for people to just jump in. And you need that window of opportunity to make your car faster. But I think having it a little bit closer in terms of pace, and just being, you know, within half a second or whatever it is, ultimately, when we actually get, you know, when this thing's set up as well as it can be. I wonder if it's a few more tenths up the road. But yeah, it's going to be fascinating. And I think that's just really going to help, as I keep saying, the casual players. People like Ross, who can actually make setups, it's maybe going to hinder them, because you're going to have less advantage. Oh, cheers, Joe. I would flash my headlights, but I don't think I've assigned a button for that. We're going to get one out lap, and then we're going to be straight into qualifying, so let's just see what happens here. Missed Apex. Die Zombie, would love some more live content. Excellent stuff. Yeah, we don't do that much live streaming on the YouTube channel. We haven't, but we do kind of want to do a bit more of the on-camera stuff and a bit more, you know, live streaming and live play stuff. I obviously did a few live play series back in the day, which were really good fun to make. Hugely time-consuming in terms of, you know, a series might last a year if you're putting out a video once a week. And obviously, with the nature of Traxion, we're trying to bring you all the news, esports, guides, everything, not just one type of thing. So doing a series like that, if I'm putting all my resource into 50 episodes of a retro game or a career mode or something, I'm not really then available to do as much of the other stuff, which is really important to Traxion and our viewers as well. So we do definitely want to do more on-camera stuff. And I know you're going to see a lot more of myself and Piers in the coming months. But yeah, it's just about picking the right thing, really. And live streaming content obviously is really good, especially if a new game comes out with a career mode or a story or something. It's great to work through it via live stream, because then you don't have to, you know, it's easier. You don't necessarily have to edit down all the content and record it on your own. You can actually enjoy it with other people watching and helping you make decisions and stuff. So yeah, we definitely want to do more of that. And so got obviously some exciting games coming up in the next few years. But I'm really glad you're enjoying this and enjoying the channel and the content as well. It's nice to see you. Nice to see regular faces and regular names popping up in the chat as well. None of your support goes unnoticed. Like, we see every comment, you know, every appreciative message or anything like that. We see it all, and it genuinely does mean a lot to us. We're just trying to cover everything. We're trying to cover the whole racing game space. Obviously, ACC, a bit of a tip of the iceberg. It's a simulator, you know, like iRacing, like R Factor 2, you know, the usual ones we bang on about, Automobilista, all these games. And then, you know, a lot of people are not playing these games. A lot of people are playing your Gran Turismos, your Forzas, your Need for Speeds, Hot Wheels Unleashed, for example. So it's all about, you know, bringing in the people that actually really enjoy racing games and need an accessible entry point. And then, you know, once they've played a couple of years of Forza Horizon and all that kind of stuff and don't get frustrated with tyre models and pressures, then they can go, have you tried this? Why don't you give this a try? Go and have a play of ACC, see what you think, now that you've actually had a chance to get a shot on a sim. So we're trying to bring people in from all corners of racing games, not just the hardcore sims, you know? Oh, thanks very much. I'm driving like an idiot, so thankfully practice coming to an end and qualifying will be going shortly. Let's see if we can nab ourselves another top 6. If it rains in quali, what am I going to do? I'm going to need your guys' help.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Right, back into qualifying mode then for our qualifying. Back to destroying tyres and not thinking about looking after heat and all that kind of stuff.
Session is now
Here we go. Right, it's dry right now.
green light, go, go, go.
Before we fire at the pits though, oh, I've lost my mouse. Let's just make sure we've got a new set of tyres, because we don't want to waste a run. There we go. Right, we're good, we're good. David Addison, you probably can't hear rambling away in the background. Oh, I've stalled. Come on. Oh, that's going to be a penalty, isn't it? I changed to second gear. I forgot ACC, that deactivates the pit lane speed limiter. Hopefully that doesn't affect things. $10 minutes, so it's only going to be, what, 4 hot laps maybe? While we're making ACC content, and just, you know, just in case he's listening and watching, our old social media manager, Raggy, who was working for Traxion for a long time and was fantastic, he is now working for Kunos and Assetto Corsa, so he is doing the social media for ACC. So if you did see, you know, an Aris lap guide going up on the Assetto Corsa Twitter page yesterday, that voice you heard at the start of the video is Raggy. So while we're playing ACC, I just thought I'd give a shout out to Raggy. Thanks for everything you did for us, and delighted to see you're enjoying yourself with your dream game, working with it, and yeah, hopefully you're excited for the big launch tomorrow. So make sure you give the Assetto Corsa social media manager a big shout out. Right. We've got a bit of traffic here, but everyone's kind of playing it nice, you know, giving each other a bit of room on the run to the last corner. First lap's not going to matter anyway, to be honest. Look at that. Running along the wall, trying to get that extra bit of slipstream. You can run all the way over the pit lane exit lines as well. That's terrible. Well, this is definitely a banker lap. Gearing a tricky one in this Porsche through that middle sector. Sometimes you use second in both corners, sometimes you use third in both, sometimes it's third in one and second in the other. It's so hard to know in this car. It just sits in between, and both gears feel like they're not quite right. Third just feels a little bit chuggy, and second just feels a little bit unnecessary, if that makes any sense. We're going to have a nice gap for this next lap though. I'm probably going to back off a little bit. I mean, the chap in front is one of the faster drivers. So maybe we'll get a little bit of slipstream, but we might also be affected by dirty air. So he's going to back off anyway. That actually leaves us plenty of room for the second lap. Still legal. So this one I tend to go second. Oh dear. That one's the tricky one to decide, second or third. This one is better to me in second. This lap's ruined anyway. Unnecessarily low gear. Most people do. It's a momentum thing. So if you nail it and you're just carrying perfect momentum, it's actually sometimes better not to unsettle the car and just let it roll. And that's where third gear comes in really handy here. But it's only on a really good qualifying lap, I think, when you can actually do it, that it'll work. Because more often than not, you want this lower gear to get, because you're not carrying quite as much corner speed on your average lap as you would be on your optimal lap. Do you know what I mean? So most people tend to run with the unnecessary lower gear. But yeah, it's tricky. Oh, horrible understeer into the last corner. It's going to be a... No, I don't think we're going to get a 30 just because I screwed up the last corner. Unbelievable. I haven't done a 30 all night. We are P1 at the moment, but come on. We're going to get held up on this one. You know what? I'm going to abandon now. Let's just abandon. Get back to the pits. Get some new tyres on quickly and see if we can get out again. Make sure they're new. They are. Okay, boom, go. Drive! So, I'm not, you know, I know it says P1. A lot of the quick guys are not out. So, we will see some drivers trying to start from the back and battle their way through, which is going to be cool to see. Looks like I'm going to be one of the ones who's further towards the front. And then the quick guys are going to be coming from the back. So that's going to be interesting. We'll definitely get 2 laps in here. So the first one, again, bring some temperature into the tyres. So that is one thing you're going to have to do here, guys. And different cars and different tracks are different in this way. Not everything requires the same style, but if you're driving the Porsche around Valencia, you're going to want to do 2 out laps, essentially, to get a fast one. Because your first hot lap, you're just not going to have the pressures. And then your second one and your third one, they should be absolutely fine. Your grip does last. The tyres do last. So you can still go quicker and keep improving, which is nice. We've been pipped. Who's pipped us? Niles. 130.9.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Okay, first lap. Again, not going to be the quickest, but I'll maybe try and be a bit smoother and slower and see if that actually, because I still think it could be a 31-0. And then we'll push again for the next one.
Slow car ahead.
That's interesting. Thought I got a good drive out of there, but obviously didn't quite get the rotation, and again that'll be tyre related as well. Just don't get the bite on that second phase. But next one's going to be the one. Not going to be cutting it nearly as fine on the timer this time around. Let's go for it. 1 lap. I'm hyping it up because I'm going to get it wrong very early on, but let's see what happens. Try and focus. We're not quite there in the pressures, but we're close enough. Oh, 2 bites of the throttle. No! Goodbye time. Not been a good second half, sorry. Better exit than the last corner, but you saw it. I had more time. I had 600s easy.
Yellow flag which session is now.
Per show. Per show. Could have been pole position, should have been pole position. Wasn't pole position. Well done, Niels. I don't know in terms of long runs how quickly they go off the cliff. I mean, in that 20-minute race, by the end of it, we were probably about half a second away. 4/10 away, something like that. Which is kind of normal, you know, from an outright quali pace when you just get out there and you've got that little extra bite in the rubber. But in terms of a long stint, I've not actually done a long stint yet so far with this update. So hopefully that's something we'll all work out soon. Oh, excellent. What vinyl is it? What's the musical taste? Ah, P2. Should have been P1. I've let the side down, as usual. But we'll have a... I think we're just going straight into the race, actually. And this is where it's going to be interesting in terms of the rain and stuff like that. So we will take the same setup as we did last time. I'll maybe take the pressures down just a little bit. We're going to want more pressure if it gets damp, though. We'll just call this one Race 2. Race! Oh, I need to put fuel in. Don't forget the fuel. Half an hour race, so we need... Oh, I don't know. 50 litres? I'm not Regenmeister. What's the forecast? I was going to be dry for 15 minutes. I think I did one really good race in the wet, which was where I was quick and everyone, you know, I'm just checking my fuel because I did a kind of calculation earlier. Right, we're good. Yeah, I think I did like 1 or 2 decent races in the wet back in the day, and none since. Oh, that's very cool. I do not know that band, I'm really sorry to say. Don't know much about German metal music, but that sounds really cool. And glow in the dark. Epic. Love it. Wet tire pressure. So if it rains, we've got, let's just say use current pressures, because we can always add to them. So I think it depends on how wet it is. We might need to add a lot more pressure if it's more wet, but at the moment there's no sign of rain. So let's see what happens. 50 seconds to go. Right, front row. I wish I was on pole, but we're not. So we're just gonna see what happens into T1. Outside line. You can obviously run quite wide at turn 1. Track limits are going to be a thing here, because I think I got 2 warnings in the last race. This one's 30 minutes. That could be more of a feature. If you're wondering why I'm sticking in the setup menu until near the start of the race, basically your tire blankets are still on, unless this has changed in the recent years and I have missed it, but your tire blankets stay on until you leave on and enter the track. So then basically I'm keeping heat in my tires for longer, close to the start of the race. Oh, sorry. Warkings, yeah. Oh well, honestly, I still haven't heard of them, but that's cool. Right, let's see what happens. Is my pit, I mean, if I do pit, let's make sure we don't take... Yeah, we're not changing brakes. Okay, that's fine.
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
Right, I am in a Ferrari sandwich here with Ferrari. Well, no, I get that wrong every time. It's a Porsche sandwich with Ferrari bread. That's what we are. I'm being sandwiched by Ferraris. It's not a Ferrari sandwich.
Green line, go, go, go.
Okay, we're gonna let Niels come over. And we'll just get settled down here. See if we can go with him. He's very fast, as you all know probably, is Niles. Raced as his teammate once, or pseudo-teammate, in an event, and yeah, he's very, very fast. I'll do my best. I'll do my best, guys. I should learn a lot from him, actually, as well. Normally see him in a BMW, but obviously tonight with the new content, we're in a Ferrari. Oh, he's run wide. I've run wide. Too busy watching him. I thought, you know what? I'm braking too early here. He's going in way deeper. I'm going to lose time. I'm going to ease off the brake. Bad idea. Never do that. Trust your gut. Let's try and not pick up track limits warnings early on. Oh, that was a track limits warning. Thought I was going to be okay there. Okay, terrible few corners. Thanks, Cam. I thought it was. You know what? I thought it was. I even slowed down a little bit to make sure it would be okay, and it wasn't. Sod's law. But I just now get no more track limits. I've already got a warning, and it's a, you know, I've got quite a long way to go in this race relative to the last race at least. So I've got to be sensible. But I tell you what, I can actually see a lot more being behind Niles and him being half a second ahead rather than right in front of me. It means I can focus on my references a little bit easier. Try my best to keep the pressure on and keep the gap to third. He's got a very different line to me into this last corner, but this time he did make the apex. Obviously your car choice is going to change that, so his Ferrari might suit a narrower line. Might just be a better line anyway. Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, not that legal. Yeah. You can see how much you've got to play with though. It's crazy, isn't it? It's ridiculous. You go all the way on the screen. I'm not going to try demonstrating how far you can go because that's just too risky. This one is a bit less scope. Got to be more careful. There's a couple in particular. I'll try and point them out to you whilst not losing concentration. This one, it's just avoid the gravel. All of this will be covered in our track guide, by the way, so make sure you keep an eye on the channel. Again, just avoid the gravel and you're good. This one is tricky. If you go slightly too far to the right, that was almost a track limits warning there. Here, you've got to stay on the curb. I think that was the one before when I said that was almost a track limits warning. I bet that was that. This is why I shouldn't be demonstrating track limits at the start of a race. I think I'm one away from a drive-through already, so that's great. That's really, really good. Didn't even gain anything either. I just wanted to show. Let's see if he goes narrow again. Yeah, he does. Interesting. You can get track limits in the last corner as well if you just run too far to the right on the entry. And obviously the exit, you've got to be careful too. Deep. Oh, Niles. Bit of oversteer. Oh no. Oh no, I think I ran through. Did I run too wide there? What am I doing? I was literally laughing at him for sliding. And almost got myself a potential drive-through. He'll just be laughing at me, pushing so hard to try and keep up. He's probably just like driving one-handed, having a bit of a laugh, telling you all about his telemetry. Very relaxed. And I'm sat here worrying about drive-through penalties already. Four tenths though. We're going to keep it pinned. Keep it close. Hey Noah. This is the new track on ACC. Valencia, which you'll be able to get as part of the 2023 GT Challenge DLC pack, coming very, very soon. And it's a great track. You can see the cars are strong in different areas, can't you? I'll take a little look to the inside, see if I made him panic, but of course I didn't. Don't think you can phase this man. We've got three of us as well. We've got Grady right there with us. Oh, I'm doing something wrong in that last corner right now. I don't know what it is, but definitely losing time to both of them on entry and not really getting the car turned in. So I need to do something different. Fourth one that gets the drive-through. Oh, well, don't tell me that, because then I'll accidentally take the third one anyway, just for the sake of it. But yeah, thank you. That helps a little bit. But I'm still going to try my best not to get a third one. We'll give ourselves that leeway. Hope you're enjoying as well, Matthew. Shouldn't look at the screen mid-corner. Yeah, so what just happened right there? Go back and watch it if you missed it. That little step out through the through the braking zone before the right-hander. That happens if you brake at a certain point on that curb. So if you do what I just did and don't get off the curb quick enough, you get a snap. And I've been finding that's tricky to deal with. And I'm just having to that's why I'm turning in a little bit early maybe visually in that corner compared to what you think I might have to do. And it's just to avoid that snap on the curb. It's a strange one. I'd have to look at more replays in depth to kind of analyze why. Oh, too early on the power. Could have been a good exit, but I ruined it. It's better. That's what I wanted all along. But the Ferrari's got good drive off the corner. Niles knows I would never go for a move there. That's the one I'm being so careful for track limits. Tyres, again, right side's a little bit hot. It's maybe not a surprise, just given the nature of the circuit. But this time the pressures are so far staying within the 26 to 27 window, just. Right's 27.0 now. I'm enjoying this. This is intense. This is proper racing. Hey, Louis. Hope you're enjoying this. I'm trying. I'm happy to sit behind him because I think if I get past, I don't know if I'll be able to gap. It's very, very close on pace. He may be saving something. Not sure. You can actually use the orange markings on the inside there for a reference point. So when you're that close, you really can't see much uplifted there. So hopefully that's not driving track limits. But yeah, there's a kind of orange marshal's post that's signalled with paint on the left, and that's what you can use as a reference if you can't see the road in front of you into T1, which sometimes you can't, such as just now. So just being a little bit cautious in there just to make sure. I'm trying to work out where the best place is going to be to make this move, and I haven't done it yet. Might be out of this corner if I can get the drive with my rear engine rear wheel drive. I got very close there earlier, but I think I might need a mistake from him, and that's difficult to come by. And Niles now Yock's mistake on ACC. John Munro mistake, yes. We're just line astern here. I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Not chucking the car around. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Cold-blooded or just not brave. Bit of both. Just gonna annoy him in the mirror. Oh, there's the mistake.
Car on the left.
That's what we're waiting for.
Clear on the left.
We're going to leave him the room though.
Car on the left.
Let's see what we can do
Clear on the left.
here. Couldn't get the crossover. I had to leave him room. I wasn't going to push him out. But the mistakes are coming. Didn't think they would. So maybe he is pushing the limits. I thought he was holding something back maybe. It's almost a mistake from me. Had to kind of give Brady the squeeze just to make sure I held on to position there. Just didn't quite get the car turned in as early as possible. A little bit deep in the brakes. Get the tyres back in the window now, hopefully. But you see what happened to Niles there? I think that's what I was talking about before. When you back end steps out in that curb in the right-hander, if that's what happened, which it looked like it was, that's exactly what's been happening to me. The thing I mentioned just a few laps ago. There's the orange on the left, so as soon as that disappears, hit the brakes, and you should be good. It's a bit safe. It's not as precise as the braking marker. That was a terrible run.
Car on the
Oh
right.
no. Bit deep, bit deep, bit deep. We're going to hold it.
Clear on the right.
Whew. Glad I held onto that one. That was a bad run out of turn one. Grady nailed it, and I just had to really defend, brake at the right moment, but thankfully held him off. Power. Give Niles some breathing room, which we don't want to do. Yes, the new Ferrari is here. It's not here for you guys yet, but it will be very soon, and we are just showing you these cars tonight as part of this premiere event. So that car in front you can see, and the car behind, which you can definitely see, is the new Ferrari 296. So you're going to get your hands on it very, very soon. I'm in the new Porsche, which is still a Porsche, but it's probably the best Porsche there's ever been on this game. I have to say I love the Cup car, but in terms of GT3, this is definitely the one that you want to be driving. Right, I need to nail turn one here. I might actually be able to see my reference for the first time in a while. Oh, no, too hot, too hot. Gonna have to do the same thing again. Fairly straightforward defending the inside there though, because you can't, as long as you can get stopped and get it turned on the apex, you really can't go around the outside there, because you need to be as far in as possible to get the car hooked on the curb. So basically, do what I did. If you struggle through T1 on this track, defend the inside into turn 2, and just defend all the way to the inside, as long as you keep your eye on the braking point, which you can still do. That's going to be the position gone. Which you can still do. Oh dear, we'll try it again here. Then you're okay. And the same through here, you can't go around the outside. You can try and get a cut back on the exit, but it's impossible to carry momentum around the outside because of the banking and stuff. So if he's going to try it, but you see he just doesn't have the room to do it. And I'm really sorry, Grady, because you're getting very frustrated right behind me right now, and I am just being annoying. I'll try and stop making mistakes though. Catch up with Niles. I think I'm doing that thing again when the tyres begin to struggle and I'm still pushing like it's qualifying. I'm just overdriving it slightly, so I'll probably need to dial it back in. So the tyres behaving, again, to reiterate, the tyres are doing what they should be doing. This feels like you've got more realistic temperature management to deal with, you've got more realistic scrubbing to deal with, and I feel like I'm driving in a way that's not necessarily kind on the tyres. I know myself when I've done it, and then it's reflected in the temps, it's reflected in the pressure. So that's how it should be. Punished for the right things. Niles runs wide. Oh, we're all struggling this corner. That's me done it 2 laps in a row. Niles sideways as well. Yeah, it does look great, doesn't it? Really, really good. It looks much nicer than the 488 in my opinion. I was never a big fan. Oh no, too deep, too deep, too deep. I was never a big fan of the visuals of the 488. This car, much, much, much nicer. And it drives differently. Drives less like a Ferrari. In some ways, right, this is going to sound really weird. When I drove that car, it almost felt like I was driving a slightly more nimble BMW M4. Like, that's the characteristics for me. It felt quite rigid, felt just less Ferrari-like, less 488 kind of floatiness and flightiness and sketchiness. Which car? The Porsche. It's hard to know what's going to be strongest because the bop's are really good. The bop's definitely improved. Alright, this is the corner where I keep going too deep, so I'm going to be extra sensible on the power really early. Too much oversteer though. It maybe does. I don't really know what the 458 feels like really on this. I don't know what it would feel like.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
P1, baby. Now let's watch Niles rinse me. Now I've not done defensive line into this last corner yet, I've not needed to, so let's just see what happens. He's going to run to the outside, I'm going to just go park on the apex a little bit, make sure I get the nose in, then get in the power. And as long as I have the straight line speed with no slipstream, I should be good. He can't really overtake into T1 unless he's fully alongside me. But look at this. Oh, yeah, he's not going to do it, surely. He is going to do it. I was like, there's no way. There was a bit of rubber banding there, I think, to be honest. Right, this is where it gets juicy. Let's concentrate. I'm all up for a scrap, guys. I don't care the result of this race. I just want a bit of fun. And that is what we're having, and we're going to get with this scrap now. Oh, contact between the 2 Ferraris. Thank you very much. You might as well rewind a lap and you'd think you missed nothing if you're skipping through this video. Go and watch the last lap. I didn't, honestly, I didn't think he'd go for it in T1. I thought it'd be fine, so I didn't even try defending. I thought, you know what, he's pulled in behind me, he's going to sit back. No, it's better than that. I should have defended it. But you know what would have happened, right? If I did defend it, he would have just stayed to the right, got a better exit, but then I could have defended the inside. Oh, it's good, it's good. Racing's good. Racing's fun. Power, come on. Oh, guys, I've just seen. Look at P4. Oh dear, we're not going to win this race, are we? Here come the cavalry. Niles is all over the place. Doesn't have a drive-through yet though. Oh, there it is. There's his drive-through. I thought he might, because he's been all over the place in terms of track limits. I mean, don't do what I just did into that corner. Oh, my poor tires. So the tires right now, I'm struggling. Like, you may be able to see it. You know, maybe I'm overdriving, but I am struggling to keep this thing in check, especially under braking. Into the corners and turning, it just, the rear wants to go. Might be the brake bias. It's gonna peel in. I don't know. Probably a bit of both. He'd be a good driver, but the Porsche is really strong on the exits normally. With my tyre wear, I'm maybe struggling a bit more. Like T1 there, I'm being a bit more cautious, I think. That's me. Because I think I could have gone quicker there, but I'm just trying to not go track limits. So I think that's where he's gaining so much in T1. Because the Porsche is very good in terms of traction, but the Ferrari has good mid-corner speed, so that's a kind of medium speed corner as well, so it should be pretty strong around there. Here, I think the Porsche is better. But I keep doing that. Not adjusted. I've got a whole pack of Ferraris behind me as well. Oh no. Finally another Porsche. Oh no, what are you doing, John? That was my chance to run away. No, could have got clear before T1.
Yellow flag in sector 3. Car on the left.
Right, 3-car battle again for the lead. Let's try our best, team. See you, Milo. We're gonna go defensive.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
And see, you just can't do anything about it. is, Miguel. It's better than Misano. I really like Misano, and I thought I'd like Valencia. I didn't think I'd love it. It's better than Misano as a driver's track, as a racer's track. It's just mega. I mean, this corner just seems like a kind of standard slow final corner, right? But when you're driving it, the flow of it, the way the braking zone turns, the way the car dives into the apex, it is honestly magnificent. Like I'm loving driving around here. I've never had so much fun hot lapping an ACC. I say never. It's been a long, long time. It really is one of the best experiences, especially in this magical Porsche. I mean, the car complements the track. What can I say? It's a combination of me misjudging, but also the tyres really letting go of me now. You can see the pressures are up, the temps are up, and that's why I'm going in deep. I'm struggling to get the rear in check. It's caused by my driving, but then the car is then punishing me for it. So that's exactly, as I keep saying, how it should be with tyres. I'm struggling to work around it, but I've caused the issue. And you can manage it just by being a bit more sensible, but you're going to lose time. You're going to have to know where to compromise. I mean, that's now been only 28 minutes and I'm doing mid-32s, best of 31.9, but it should be like 31.5. I'm a long way off the pace. Try and get quicker through T1 because that's where we're losing most time. Probably didn't see my steering inputs there, I was fully sideways. All right, last lap. He's going to send one. Wish me luck. I'm probably going to muck it up. He's so good in that first sector. Credit where credit's due. I'm doing something wrong, he's doing something right, whatever it is. He's so quick. Maybe it's the car, but it wouldn't make that much of a difference. He's got like half a second on me, it looks like. No rain, that's a shame. I mean, arguably not a shame since I'm leading, but it would have been really good fun to see what the rain was like. Maybe there's still time. Last corner, downpour. Turn 1 is a swimming pool.
Slow car ahead.
Tried to scare me into there, just giving me a bit of breathing room. I think we're good now. Half a second, he's surely not going to go for it here. There it is, through the last corner. We're gonna win! P. Juan.
Excellent job, man.
And there's our first win around Valencia.
Bring it back home safely.
And hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I need to find my, I actually don't have a button assigned for anything, so I want to flash my lights. There we go. Oh, they are on. Interesting. Good racing, guys. Thanks very much. I enjoyed that. That was really, really good fun. Shame that Niles got his penalty, but he was clearly really struggling with track limits, and I was struggling as well. Bit of a threat from behind towards the end with my burned out tyres. But yeah, we made it work. And that's what you've got to look forward to, racing at Valencia on ACC. I mean, you can see how closely we could follow through the middle sectors there. You can see, you know, as soon as there's two cars making contact up in front, you can really, really take advantage as a third car and just focus on your exits. Hey, Rory. Let's have a look at that Ferrari then, shall we? Beautiful car. Look at that. Yeah, track guide is incoming, Paul. So, the track guide is hopefully there for you soon. I'll be working on that. I'm basically going to give you this setup as well that I'm using right now. So the track guide lap, I've already recorded the different angles for it. It was on day one, so it's not necessarily the perfect lap. It was a 1:30.6. I've done faster laps on this setup, so I'll send you this setup rather than the one that I used in the video, but I'll do my best to talk you through it. But there we go. Car behind had fastest lap as well. Great job by Grady, really enjoyed that. But guys, yeah, thank you very much. Are you excited for this DLC? You going to get your hands on it as soon as possible? I know I'm biased all the time to every game because I just love racing games, and it maybe seems like I'm overly positive, but you should buy it. You should buy it. Server's going down now, guys. I'll give you one last look, actually, at the beautiful MPX Grid Engineering steering wheel and dashboard. There's going to be a review on all this stuff coming very soon in the Traxion channel, and I absolutely love this. It is fantastic. But that's for another day. Well, that's probably going to end the stream. Hopefully you guys have had fun. I've seen some great comments coming in. Lovely to hear from you all. And as always, I'll take this opportunity while I'm speaking to you in a live stream to say thank you for all of the support, whether it's on the Traxion website, whether it's on the YouTube channel, across all of socials. It's been fantastic, and I very much appreciated. Everyone's messaging in the server here, so I'm just going to send a message. I can't do two things at once. There we go. Literally can't type and talk to you guys at the same time. But yeah, it's been a blast. Thanks, Matthew. Really hope you enjoy it. Just to summarize things, this DLC pack will have the Valencia circuit that we've been racing on tonight, as well as the Porsche 992 that I have been racing in tonight, which does feel better than the old Porsche, and it sounds better as well. You'll also get a couple of other new cars. You'll get the Lamborghini Huracan Evo2, and you'll get the Ferrari 296, which I was racing against a pile of in that race that's just passed just now. You're also going to, of course, have physics updates, tyre model updates, so hack meta setups, as we like to call them, are not going to be as effective. You're going to be able to create your own setup, which is going to be able to match those, trying to use, soft tactics to try and increase their straight line speed or increase their cornering capabilities. It's all to do with bump stops and dampers, and also the way the tires work, which is absolutely awesome. Another thing, new tire window, 26 to 27 PSI is what you want to be hitting in your races and in your quali laps. And the lower you are, the closer to 26, the more performance you're going to get, but the more heat you're going to generate. Whereas if you're in the higher regions of 26.8, 27, the tire's going to be more rigid, it's going to generate less heat, might be better on tire wear, but less ultimate grip. So yeah, good stuff all around. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoy it. Let us know tomorrow what you're thinking of the new force feedback, of the new tire model, of the new content. We'll be bringing you, of course, lots of content with this DLC pack as well. And trust me, we've got plenty in the works. This is just the first small part of it. And that includes track guides, reviews, all sorts of stuff. So do subscribe to the Traxion channel. And I am also going to shout out, we do have a second channel now called More Traxion. It does what it says in the tin, gives you more inside stuff, whether that's extra behind-the-scenes footage or it's going to be, raw gameplay, stuff like that. And we're going to have a couple of ACC videos going up on there very soon as well. Stuff like comparisons between old cars and new cars, things like this. So make sure you head over to More Traxion and subscribe to that as well if you want to see more ACC stuff. But until next time, Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.